Hello friends, welcome to Code Crush Coding. In this video we are going to learn about the functions in Python. So functions in any programming languages are very important because whenever we want to have some repeated task that we want to have in our code multiple times, so in that case we can use the functions. So let's see some of the theory about functions. So functions are the most important aspect of an application. A function can be defined as the organized block of reusable code which can be called whenever required. So whenever we have some function and whenever we require it multiple times, we just need to call the function name and the entire block of code inside that function will get executed. Python provides us various inbuilt functions. So there are two type of functions. One are inbuilt functions and other are user defined functions. So what are inbuilt functions? So inbuilt functions are the functions which are already provided by any programming languages. Like in Python we have this range function. So whenever we pass any number, so we automatically gets the range till that number. If you haven't seen the video for range function, do watch those videos before. And another inbuilt function is print. So to print anything we use this print function. So in this video we will see how we can create the user defined functions. We can call Python functions multiple times in a program and anywhere in a program. So using functions we can avoid rewriting the same logic code again and again in a program. So it also saves the time and also the efforts whenever we require the reusable code. So reusability is the main achievement of Python functions. So how to create a functions? Now we have seen all this theory about functions, but how in a code we can create a function? So Python provides the def keyword to define a function. So basically this def stands for defining the function. So we need to make use of this keyword. So this is the syntax to create a function. We need to use this keyword def, then the name of the function which you can provide of your choice. Then we can have parameters for this function. Some functions may require these parameters, some may not require. It depends on the type of function you are going to create. Then you have this block of statement for this function and then return expression. So if your function is returning something, then you need to make use of this return keyword. The def keyword along with the function name is used to define the function. A function accepts the parameter or argument and they can be optional. A function block is started with the colon as you see here, and block statement must be at the same indentation. So the indentation should be the same for all the block of statements for function. So once we create the function, how we can call the function? So function calling in Python, after the function is created, we can call it from another function or in the code. A function must be defined before the function call, otherwise the Python interpreter gives an error. So the function should always be created first, then we need to call it, otherwise it will give an error. So to call the function, use the function name followed by parenthesis. So this is the syntax that we can call the function with the help of just function name. So a lot of theory we have covered now. So let's see the practical implementation, how to create a function and how to call a function. So here we have our function demo.python file. So let's say we want to create a function. So we need to have the def keyword, right? Def, and let's say my function name is say something. This is my function name and I don't have any arguments or parameters to pass. So I will just say the function name colon, and here I will say print hello. So this I wanted to print in this function. So this is my function created. So I want to end this function, so I will remove the indentation and I will call this function now. So how I can call this function? I just need to say the function name which is say something. So that's it. Now if I try to run this code, what output I am getting? So run function demo. So see, we are getting here say something and we are getting here hello printed. If I try to call the function before the function is defined, So if, let's say the function is defined below at line 3, and at line 1 I am calling the function say something. So see, we are getting here unresolved reference say something. Let me save this and try to run. What error we get? So see, we are getting here error which says line 1 in module say something, name say something is not defined. So as say something is declared first, so interpreter is not knowing what this say something is there, because it is defined below that line. So remember one thing, we need to call a function only when it is already defined. So we will call it here say something. Now instead of printing the hello multiple times, you can call this function as many times you want. So if I call this function 4 times, the 4 times hello will get print. So see, we are getting a hello printed. So as this was a small function, right? But in the practical world, we have the function, and inside the function there are multiple block of statements. So only we need to write the function one time, and we can call the function as many time as you required in the code. So let's make enhancement in this function now. Let's say this function now takes the parameter. So how you can pass the parameter here? Let's say the function is taking the string, let's say John, and when you pass the parameter, you need to catch the parameter here, right? So here you need to say, let's say this is a string, so here I will provide the string type of variable. Let's say str is the variable, and I will print this hello, and here I will print the string. Let me run this code, then I will show you how it is behaving. So see, we are getting here hello John. So how the function is working now? So we are calling this say something function, but it is defined here. So say something takes one variable, right? It takes one variable, and inside this function we are printing hello and that variable. So when we call this function, we need to pass the variable, because it is taking it is expecting one variable. If you don't pass your variable or the value, it will throw you an error. So as we have passed here value John, so John value is stored in this string, and it print hello John. If I don't provide anything here and try to run now, so see, it says say something missing one required optional argument string. So it is expecting that value, so you need to pass that. So here I say John. Now see, I can call this function as many times as I want with different values. Let's say John, another name is Tom, another name is, let's say, Mark. If I try to save this and run now, so see, we are getting here hello John, hello Tom, and hello Mark. So in this way you can call the functions. So we have seen with the argument also. Now let's check the another function. Let's say you want to add the two numbers, and that function you want to create. So how you can do this? You need to first define the function. Let's say name of function is add, and here you are expecting two numbers, num1 comma num2. So this is my function, and what you will do, you will have one variable here result, which will add these two numbers num1 plus num2 and print result. Now, and here you need to call the function add, and here you need to pass two values. Let's say 10 and 20 I am passing. So save this, run now. So see, we are getting a result as 30. 10 plus 20 is 30. So as many time you want, you can call this function with different value. Let's say I want here now 20 20, so it should give me 40. So see, it's printing 40 for the second function. For first function it is 30. Now let's say I don't want to print something here. I want to return. So with the help of return keyword, return result. So now what will happen? It will add the two numbers and it will return the result. So as it is returning something from function, you need to have something to store it, right? So we will have one variable, let's say output. So what it will do, now we are calling this function, right, at 10:20. So this processing will be done and it will return something result. So that whatever it returns, it will be stored in this output, and then we will print here, print addition is, and then we will say here output. Let's run this code. So see, we are getting here addition is 10 plus 20 is 30. Now what I want, I don't want to pass this value directly hard coded. I will ask user to input the values. So how we can do this? So we will have here num1 variable, and we will say here input, enter first number. This is first number. Now num2 input, enter second number. So as two numbers are entered, now we will pass these two numbers to this function num1 comma num2. So as we are passing two values, whatever value is entered here for num1, we will pass that for num2, and then num1 comma num2 will pass here, and again we have two variables to catch those two values, and it will add these two numbers. Let's try to run this code. So enter first number, let's say 100, enter second number 300. So addition is, so what it is doing, it is basically, as we have provided here addition is comma output, so it is considering these two values. Okay, it is considering these two values as string, so we need to make it to the integer. So let's say if I make it integer here, integer, try to run now. So enter first number 100, enter second number 300. So the addition we are getting is 400, 300 plus 100. So why it was giving us the addition, like it was just concatenating the two strings, because it was considering this input to be the string. So we have restricted it to integer, so we are getting here correct. So in the same way, we can have the functions for subtraction, multiplication, division, or square. You can make use of this function. So do practice the different type of functions you want to check. So that's it for this video. We will cover another topics of function in next video. Thank you for watching.